Hey guys, welcome back to Lap 1 News, and today we are going to be reviewing Torro Rosso's 2019 F1 season. So, it started off with Albon and Kvyat. The returning Kvyat, who I was very surprised when they announced him actually, because he wasn't treated fairly. I think that's fair to say. Nobody can... nobody agrees that he was treated nicely by Torro Rosso before and Red Bull. So I was surprised to see him back, but then realistically I don't know who else they could have gone with, really. And rookie Alexander Albon. So they started off with that, and immediately for me, almost immediately in China, Alexander Albon impressed me and showed me why he was chosen for that seat. Because from the pit lane to points in a Torro Rosso is impressive. It's impressive because Torro Rosso, not that great, and it's not like they just capitalised on a load of other people's mistakes, because China was quite a quiet race. There wasn't an awful lot going on. So for him to be able to get into the points like that was impressive. I was really impressed by Alex Albon. And that kind of sums up the entire season for Torro Rosso for me. Because Torro Rosso famously, they're not as good as not nearly as good as their partner team, as their father team in Red Bull. And for them to then come this season and better than they usually do, I think they finished 6th in the Drivers' Championship, which is a really high finish for them, was great to see because they only just finished behind Renault. So then we move on to Germany. Kvyat. Wow. Kvyat podium in Germany was something that nobody expected it. Going into the race, obviously, nobody would have come out saying, oh yeah, I think Kvyat's going to get on the podium. Nobody would have seriously believed that. So, yeah, it was a crazy race, but you've got to be in that position to get that podium, and to be able to drive like that in the wet when all of the other drivers were crashing, spinning, for him to just be able to keep it on the road, unlike some of the other drivers with more experience, Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, that was impressive. Honestly, it was impressive. And then we get to the halfway point of the season. Alex Albon had impressed Helmut Marko enough to get the promotion to Red Bull after Pierre Gasly did not do so well with his demotion to Torro Rosso. But in the end, that was probably the correct decision for Gasly to be demoted, because he just wasn't performing it in that Red Bull. And once he was in Torro Rosso, he was a lot better. A lot better. He even got a podium in Brazil, which, again, he capitalised on the shortcomings of some of the top-tier teams, but already in that weekend was he best of the rest. And he just capitalised on that fully and wholly, just like any good driver does. So, yes, he looked into the podium, but it took skill, and it was his pace that allowed him to be able to get that look, or for him to be able to take advantage and get the podium like he did. So, obviously, there's a lot less pressure at Torro Rosso than there was at Red Bull. I think that helped Gasly. But it must have also been the car, because I just don't think the Red Bull suited him like the Torro Rosso does, and the family just doesn't suit Pierre Gasly. I don't know if that means in the future that Gasly will never race for Red Bull again, or will never be successful in a Red Bull, just because I don't know. I hope he's not destined to just be a midfield driver, because he is a quick driver, he showed that, but he just wasn't quick and consistent enough for Red Bull to want to keep him. Hence why, like he was when he got into the Torro Rosso, and once he was in that Torro Rosso, he was proving why he was in that Red Bull to begin with. So, I mean, the first half of the season when they had Albon, their teammate battle was close, fairly close, between Kvyat and Albon. Like, no one driver for me stood out more. I mean, Kvyat is more experienced, so you would expect him to be a bit higher up. And I thought Albon did well at matching him. And then the second half of the season, Gasly completely destroyed Kvyat. Just completely destroyed him. So, I don't know if that's indicative of the Albon-Gasly pace. What you have to remember that Albon is that, yeah, is still in his first season, whereas Gasly's had a full year plus a few extra races in 2017 towards the end, instead of Sainz, when Sainz went to Renault quite early to replace Palmer. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited next season for Toro Rosso. I don't think they'll have as good of a season as they've had this year, unfortunately. But I'll be interested to see where they go in terms of Kvyat and Gasly. I don't know if Gasly will continue to just dominate Kvyat next season. I hope not. I hope it's a little bit closer than that. But let's just hope that the drivers there are proving that they deserve, or they are deserving of a top tier team for 2021. Speaking of next season, actually, I've completely forgot to mention they're changing their name to AlphaTauri. I'm not sure I agree with that one, because Toro Rosso was a good name. I mean, it was Spanish for Red Bull, wasn't it? So, and now they're just changing it to the name of their clothing brand. I'm not a massive fan. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a massive fan. So, it's a shame that we're losing the Toro Rosso name from the grid, but, I mean, I don't think it'll affect too much. We'll just get confused between the two Alphas, like we already get confused between Racing Point still being Force India. So, yeah, basically, that is my thoughts and opinions on 2019 season for Torro Rosso. So, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss the next one. And if you didn't like it, make sure to tell me why in the comments below so I can keep on improving. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been John Whittaker from Lap 1 News, and I'm out. Goodbye.